question number 5, we have been given a question about a lake which has some fisheries, and the revenue from the fishery function is 10,000 times 4x minus x square by 2. Okay. So the first part, we have to just find the marginal and the average revenue. So marginal revenue is equals to dr by dx, which is going to be 40,000 minus 10,000x, and average revenue is equals to r upon x, so that's going to be 40,000 minus what's it's going to be? It's going to be 5,000x. Okay, so that's part 1. Okay, now coming to part 2, the municipality is considering giving permits so that for each boat, so they can track who's fishing. If these permits are allocated freely, how many boats will fish every month? So let us get into the shoes of the boater, of the fisherman. So a fisherman क्या सोचता है? Fisherman is thinking that my revenue should be greater than my costs. So if there are X fishermen, the revenue for each fisherman is the average revenue, which is given by this particular function 40,000 minus 5,000x. So to solve the second part, what we need to do is average revenue is equals to average cost of each fisherman. Because when that happens, in this condition, profit for each firm becomes equals to 0. As long as profits are positive for any firm, we'll see more entry happening. Okay, so if pi I is positive, you see entry of new firms in this case is fishermen. If pi I is negative, you see exit of existing firms. Okay, so for equilibrium, we need profit to be equal to 0. So profit is average revenue minus average cost. So that is the profit of an individual firm. So that condition, according to this equation, becomes 40,000 minus 5,000x must be equal to the average cost. Average cost is given as 20,000. So this implies 5,000x must be equal to 20,000, which implies that my x must be equal to 4. So in case of free entry, so let me call it xf, in case of free entry, the number of firms which are going to be present in the market is going to be 4. So there are going to be 4 firms in the market. Now let's come to the third part. So in the third part, if total profit is to be maximum, how many boats should be fishing? So here you can do 2 things. Either you can write the overall profit function. So overall profit function is revenue minus total cost. So that is going to be 40,000 x minus 5,000x square minus 20,000x. So you can write this profit function, then you can do d pi by dx equals to 0. That will give you x star, which is the profit maximizing number of firms. Another way to do it is, alternate way is, we know profit maximizing condition is marginal revenue equals to marginal cost. I already have the marginal revenue function from here, right? Marginal revenue function is 40,000 minus 10,000x, so I can directly use this thing. So 40,000, too many zeros, minus 10,000x must be equal to marginal cost is 20,000. So this implies x star must be equal to 2. You'll get the same result here. Okay, so you can do this either ways, either mr equals to mc, or make the profit function overall profit function and differentiate it with respect to x. So ideally, in order to maximize the total profit, the municipality should limit the number of firms to 2. Now let's look at the fourth part. In the fourth part, the municipality decides to charge for permits instead of giving them out for free. What should be the per boat charge for the permit if the total profits are to be the maximum possible? Okay, so the municipality wants to restrict the entry of firms. So in that case, the profit for ith firm becomes equal to average revenue minus average cost, which is 40,000 minus 5,000 x minus 20,000 plus permit price P, where P is equal to the permit price. So when I solve this, what I want, set P, I want to set P such that X, suppose this is X with permit, XP turns out to be equal to 2. Now for pi I equals to 0, I want to solve for X, the value of P, which gives me XP equals to 2. So why don't we just substitute this? So when you substitute this XP equals to 2 here, what we get is P must be equal to 40,000 minus 10,000 minus 20,000, which is equals to 10,000. So setting permit price equals to 10,000 will ensure that only 2 boats come into the picture, so that the overall profits reach the maximum possible. Yeah.